It is always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This fielded right at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give right side. Wall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25 to will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 61 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down. They'll try the left side. Porter. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And the defense, they'll spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. Now Wilson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
Pressure comes, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw here. Going to throw right side here, complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is, and we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game,
have to play the Thursday game, that quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they played much better in game 2, so I would agree with you totally on that.
Taken down at the 41. It's a gain of 3. On third down, it's Porter, and he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Second and 6. On first down, Porter. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw is Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 30. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
On 2nd down, it's Porter. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
They'll run on first down. Porter. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
We got 3. We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
Play action. It's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
To go for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Porter. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll try the left side. Porter. Oh, nice move. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
41 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action with Wilson. Now he'll escape to his left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Porter. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Now a give right side. It's Porter. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
That's a really good defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And the tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further.
The offense on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11. Got this complete to the tight end, Pitts. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And they'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Yeah, we will get another look at Seattle's offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, first and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
On third down, Wilson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here first and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. Some great games still to come, and I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there, as they'll square off with the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Carolina Panthers. And lastly, on Sunday Night Football, this will be one to tune in for, as they've got a good one lined up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Saints, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
On first down, Wilson. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On second down now, it's Porter, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll keep it on the ground. Porter. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Here's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Barker. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll run on first down. It's Porter. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Wilson now off the bootleg. He finds his man, complete. That's Porter. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually direct correlation, very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And probably the wise decision there. No one open, he just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. And this one is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack. Put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. On 2nd down, it's Porter. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And that will make our score 9-0. A second field goal here in this 3rd quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they do a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they can get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
From the 35 on second down, Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So that'll back them up 5. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. Wall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sand.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing is Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could. But let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off around the 27. And the Seahawks are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll set up to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As a quarterback, Charles, you have to imagine that he knew that heat was coming there on that snap. But this time, the pressure forces him into an interception.
Absolutely he knew, and maybe that's a spot in other parts of the game. He's going to think about just throwing that one away, but down late in the 4th quarter, he has no choice, no luxury. He's got to try and make a play. And even with that pressure around him, he tried to complete it downfield to no avail.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line.
96 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Porter. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. From the gun on third down, Wilson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. He'll drop to throw. Escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. And a really unbelievable play there on 4th and long.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
On 1st down. Wall. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll keep it on the ground. Wall. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. The Seahawks on 3rd down. An almost unimaginable 0 for 10 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now back to throw. He's got it. And he is out of bounds here.
That's it, Bates. Complete to Kyle Pitts.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
A kicker fest so far. All points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Saints again ready to go on offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Wilson. And that is incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
So all eyes on this Seahawks offense. Down by 2, and time, a huge factor. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time. The ball's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. And they take a knee. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that's certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like open up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?